How we doing out there? I'm serving the Most High. For some reason they wanted me to delete all my videos. Well, anyways, let's get on with it. The point of it being is that tomorrow is Independence Day. So 4th of July. And everybody's going to have a wonderful time tomorrow. Now watching fireworks, eating hot dogs, hamburgers, and just enjoying the time being together. You know, I spent most of the day yesterday up here in the city. Went up to the mall and was up there and walking around, kind of looking at things and watching the people and watching the young men opening and closing the doors, doing the honorable thing, the right thing to do, and just kind of really enjoying taking in that, you know, some people still remember chivalry is not dead. And then, you know, I was downtown coming through, and I seen a lot of the homeless. And the thing is that with me, you know, the understanding about how the people are out there, it's pretty hot, you know. And like I said, tomorrow's Independence Day. You know, you got a lot of vets laying out there on the ground. The thing about it is that you got also a lot of God's children. All of us are God's children. And he says, you know, take care of my broken. Get a chance tomorrow, take some hot dogs, grab you a loaf of bread, some mustard, maybe a little relish would be nice, and individual bag of chips, and just go up there and hand them out. Hand out some water. I'll be up there. And the thing about it is that, you know, the understanding of the government, the state, they say they do a wonderful job. No, they don't. And they know they don't. And they won't tell anybody because nobody cares about hearing about the homeless. They say, well, they're this way, they're that way. No, they're broken. Why are they broken? And it's sure not because of mental health. The thing about it is that they've been traumatized, they live in fear, and the only way to deal with it is to be away. Their family may abandon them because they just don't care. And let me tell you something, it is real that they just don't care. Kind of the same way as your government. They are paid to care. Now understand that. The money that they have and the money that they think that they spend on all these programs, and they don't know sick 'em from come here. Oh, they can make a lot of theory and a lot of theological thought and aspect of the actual truth. They can go plumb back to the 1800s when they was lobotomizing people. Was it demons? Was it... what was it? Well, the thing about it is that nobody wants to take the time and understand that these people can be helped. And it's sure not by a program. The only program there is the Father's program, the Word. Let me tell you something. If I didn't know this for a fact, I sure wouldn't be on here talking about it. You got a lot of veterans out there that just don't want nothing to do with certain people. Promises made, but never promises carried through. And no, I don't hate the government or anything like that. I don't, the thing about it is that they know exactly what they're doing. Um, the point of keeping somebody in a spot, or let's try to rehabilitate. You give them food, you give them a place to stay, and you give them the word. And then you stay out of God's way. Because everything that you impress upon them is a distraction from the Father. No ifs, ands, buts, or words about it. Oklahoma is supposed to be this whole godly community, that we are the backbone. Yeah, I've seen the backbone. I've been through several states, and I called the backbone, but they didn't answer. I don't cut no fat either way. The truth is the truth. You're gonna help somebody, and truly help them. I know people that's inside the programs that you designed. I know exactly what it's designed for. The attaboy, there's no attaboys in this. There's the truth, and then there's help. And then there's the Father's Word. And you say, well, that's not, that. No, it doesn't. You got to understand, the Father doesn't abide by these systems or whatever somebody creates because they're theologically, actually morally corrupt. But the thing about it is that, what you're trying and what you're trying to achieve doesn't work. It's sadness is what it is, that you blow all the money on programs that you educated somebody through a college system that says this is the way that this works. This is how this works. But you have no heart for the Father. So it don't work. You say you do this. It's kind of like ADHD. I had ADHD. I can do any freaking thing I want to do. And I know it. That's the bad part about it. Everything I've ever wanted to accomplish, I succeeded. Am I a raging lunatic? No. But you're trying to help something you have no idea what God created. You don't care to know because you're in a program that says this is the way it is. Well, I'm sorry. I don't believe in it. Never have. You learn as who you are. The Father gives you everything that you need to know and to understand. You want to go to college? Go to college. You want to get an education? Get an education. But if you don't have the Father, it's not much of an education because guess what? It just runs into dead end after dead end after dead end. And it never quits and it never stops and it never ends. There's always something new. There's always something better. Let's shut down the Hadron Collider. Revamp it. What are you learning? With knowledge comes great responsibility. But you go past that. You say that there's more, there's more, there's more. It's not. There's only the Father's Word and Jesus on your lips. That's all. I'm not raming everybody in the world that wants to help people. But you have to understand, this has nothing to do with the state or federal government. Because it won't work. You got too many moving parts that you have to pay. Plus other things that go out the back door. But understand that All you have to do is just be wonderful people and do the right thing. And all this is what? Well, why don't you decipher that? Anyways, you're wonderful children of God, and I do know that. Spend time with the Father, precepts, statutes, commandments, testimonies. You have a lot of homeless out there, and maybe everybody don't want to hear this at this time. Well, I'm sorry. The thing about it is that we have our job to do for the Father. And it's a wonderful thing that you do these things. It truly is. And you will see the Father. You will see your hand whenever you're giving somebody something that is from the Father. And that is the grace of God. Everybody that helps everybody out there. I will be up there myself doing a few things. And I just want you to understand you're wonderful people. You truly are. You've just been sacked up into everything that mammon and principalities and all these things that they create to keep your head turned. Anyhow, tomorrow's Independence Day. Like I said, you got a lot of people out there that's on the street, and you got a lot of veterans out there. So, anyways, guys, thank you for your service. Anyways, I'm serving the Most High. Keep Jesus on your lips. Nobody comes to the Father except through the Son. Y'all have a good one.